Hey guys, Zatmat here, welcome back to another video on the new channel. This is the second one I've done so far, where we are going to be talking about motivation. Now, one of the main reasons why I started this channel was to help kind of make me more motivated to make videos, because recently it's been a really big struggle coming up with, good video ideas, and also just putting the time in to edit all these large-scale videos. Obviously, I could probably put in a lot more effort already, but it's something that has sort of been lost recently in the last few months. And I wanted a way where I could not only help build up, my video making stuff again by making this channel, but also just have an outlet to talk about life and maybe put things into a better perspective for me, and maybe at the same time give something for other people to maybe take some kind of an experience from. So that's the whole point of this channel, right? So going back to this whole motivation thing, it really sort of started to come about while working on a few large-scale videos earlier this year. I'd say in like around June, July, right? And I found that I was editing them a bit, but I never finished these videos. So they just sat on my computer, waiting to be finished for months at one point. And I figured, I found it was really difficult to sort of get into the grind of making these really large-scale videos after having not done anything to do videos for a while on like that kind of scale. So something that didn't really occur to me is trying to start maybe a smaller scale, making shorter, less interesting videos, right? Which is kind of what this channel is. They're sort of their own thing, I guess. But interesting in a different way. But that's a topic for another day, probably. But yeah, like, I figured recently, why don't, I try building up that grind again by making some different, shorter kind of videos that don't require quite as much time and, repetitive effort going into editing and stuff. This is something I just put together. All I need is like a bunch of bullet points if I can talk about stuff, and some kind of gameplay to commentate over. So, and I do think it is helping. After making that first video, I've just felt motivated to do more, and I think this is a good step in building up that whole video making thing. And maybe as a whole, like with life especially, it's been really difficult to be motivated to do certain things, whether it comes to like schoolwork, actual, jobs, just anything really. So I think the lesson from this whole thing is maybe try starting off with a smaller scale thing, because it's something that's much more approachable, and it's a lot easier to get some kind of reward out of it because you've finished it, and maybe finishing stuff gives you the drive to do more, right? And if you're doing something that's too big of a scale to finish, then there won't be any motivation to carry on doing it, because you've gave up on the last thing you just did by not finishing it. Getting into that grind is probably one of the hardest things you can do when it comes to any kind of work. But once you're in that grind, and it's a somewhat rewarding experience, it can be a lot easier to do these bigger projects and stuff on a bigger scale once you're actually in that grind, because once you've built it up, you're just doing it then. You don't have to build it up again. Building it up is the hardest bit you can possibly do. So, and that's something that, I kind of did back in, 2020 with the whole Zatmat Plays channel. That was me basically doing what I'm doing now, like just talking while playing a game. But that was something I had to build up back then. It's something I find really easy to do now, but back then it was a lot more work. And eventually I got to the point where I could do like multiple videos a week of just me doing that. But, at the start it was a lot more difficult because it was a new thing and you have to build it up still. And you can apply the same logic to anything really, but for me it's these bigger video projects that require like, days, sometimes weeks of just editing in whatever free time I can possibly get. So yeah. Yeah, one of the other problems I've been having with the whole YouTube thing recently is running out of video ideas, and that can, I guess, go back to the whole not being in that grind mindset, right? Because it's something, yeah, you have to build up. But video ideas it's sort of been a drought of video ideas recently when it comes to making videos. Like, I don't know what to make a video on. That's why this channel exists, is because I need to make some kind of video, but I don't know what yet. So I figured if I'm having all these problems with life, right, with doing things in life anyway, I don't have much of a problem with life in general. I have a pretty good life. But when I have all these different problems, maybe putting them into a video not only will help me sort of approach them from a different perspective, right? Also, maybe some ounce of experience that I've possibly had in this time might go to help some other people not have the same issues as me. Obviously, no one listens to anyone else a lot of the time. You know, a lot of people only grow from the failures that they've had. You know, how are you meant to grow as a person if you have no failures, right? So this can only do so much, but I guess maybe it can, in a way, sometimes be a way to give some kind of idea on how to approach it differently, right? Sometimes you just need some kind of, like, a push or an idea from someone else to sort of make something click in your head, I guess. So maybe take this as a bit of advice if you're willing to. If you're not, then you'll probably find your own way around it as well, like I did. You know, I'm not the kind of person who likes listening to other people anyway, so it's a completely understandable thing, and I'm just some random teenager just sitting in their room making a video. It's probably not the best idea to listen to me anyway, but, you know, from the small bit of experience I've had, maybe it's worthwhile to someone. It's definitely worthwhile to me now after going through it, and just me making this video helps it put into perspective for me. So I don't really care if, you know, anyone listens to this ever, you know. Now, another thing this channel is hopefully going to help, you know, build on is my own confidence while talking. Obviously, I'm not exactly the least confident at talking or anything. You know, I'm talking right now. You know, it's somewhat bearable to listen to. Go back on to Zach Matt Plays channel and sort by oldest, look at my old videos. You'll really see the difference, but there's still, you know, a long way for me to go when it comes to talking confidence. Like, a lot of the time I'll need to pause a recording, right, like I'm doing today. I've probably done like at least 6 pauses at this point. I haven't been counting them, but that's just a guess. But yeah, this is, I can't want a way to be able to just talk, you know, without having to worry about a live stream or a face cam or anything, where I just build up my confidence talking into a microphone, right, about whatever I want. Because, you know, the more I do it, as with anything else, the better practice I'll have, and just the better I can get at it. So, and this might, in a way, help me build up being able to do YouTube to a higher quality level. Because I'll be better at talking to a camera and to an audience on YouTube, right? And even on Twitch. You know, if I hadn't spent those years on that old channel doing those old COD videos, the old Minecraft videos, all those kind of things, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near this good at talking at all. I still do struggle talking to a real-life audience. You know, a month or two ago, I was doing a PowerPoint presentation in a classroom, so... and I'm pretty sure I did about 1 million different stutters while doing that. Obviously, this isn't so bad. Obviously, I could have done a lot worse in that room as well. There are definitely other people who didn't quite have as much confidence as me, but I wasn't by no means perfect. Nowhere near as good as I am, just sat here talking to my microphone. So this channel's hopefully going to build everything up where it comes to talking a lot more than anything else I've been doing, because I don't tend to stream that much nowadays, because, let's be honest, there's not much new stuff to stream, and maybe I'm not the most interesting person to talk for 2 hours straight. It's not so bad when it's, you know, a 5 or 10 minute video like it is today, with pauses in the middle. You know, I'm probably going to have to pause again in a minute, knowing me. You know, I kind of have the problem of just running out of things to say when I'm in, like, when I'm just sat here by myself, right? Calling people, I think, makes a much better stream. But nowadays, there's not so much I can do about that because people are busy with their lives, you know. So this will hopefully help me build up, you know, the confidence to stream on my own again, and to make videos of me talking about something more interesting. Because I find probably the most lackluster bit of my videos right now is probably the commentary. And sure, it's probably about 1,000,000 times better than someone who's just started out on YouTube. But it's by no means going to get me far, you know? Especially if my editing isn't top tier either. Because I don't want to be spending about 2 years editing a single video. I want to make up for that with better commentary. That's what I care about more. And you know, you kind of need a good foundation of a video as well. So if I can not only have good commentary but epic editing, you know, imagine what kind of video that would make. So I kind of want to work on, obviously I'm working on both anyway by making videos in the first place, right? But my main priority right now is nailing down the commentary as well as I possibly can, and building it up, you know, and also building up the motivation to make a video, obviously. So yeah, I think that's the video for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.